This year on my trip to Kirkgate Market, I was lucky enough to find strawberries, and they were £2 for 2 kilos. They're lush. So I'm going to make some of them into an amazing traditional 2-ingredient jam for Jam It Up June. And it's hosted by, oh look at that, me and Tony from Kettle Kitchen. Let's get into it. So these strawberries needed using straight away. So what I did was I pre-prepped all my strawberries for all the different things that I was going to make. And I've kept them separately. What we want today is in this pot here. That's all my strawberries. And I've quartered all of the ones that were going in there. But what do you do next, Blue? Well, let me explain. You grab your strawberries and you weigh them out, because you need to have equal amounts strawberries to equal amounts sugar. And those are, yes, my absolute, that's it. That's all the ingredients you need for this particular jam. On this particular day, I do have 2 kilos, but I actually have 2.25 kilos of strawberries, and that's okay, because we're going to put those straight back in the bowl or the pot, because it just saves dishes. And we're going to weigh the exact same amount of sugar. So if you have less or more than the 2 kilos of sugar that is specified in the recipe, it doesn't matter, as long as you just use exactly the same amount of sugar as you do the fruit. And that's it. It's that simple. It does have to be weight though. It doesn't work if it's cups. It doesn't work if it's jugs or bowls or whatever. It doesn't work that way, because they are different. Okay, so you do have to weigh this. So next we're just going to add the sugar to our strawberries like this. Dun dun dun!
That's it.
And we're going to mix the strawberries into the sugar. There is no heat on at this point at all. In fact, there won't be any heat on at this point at all. There won't be any on for 24 hours, because we want those strawberries to release their juice into the sugar. Just make sure to mix everything really thoroughly, and that there's no clumps of sugar left on the bottom of the pot, and just put something on the top and walk away. And next day, your sugar has melted. Okay, so I went back to it a couple of times in that time and mixed it up some more, just to loosen up some more of the sugar. You don't want clumps of sugar on the bottom of the pan, because that is where you will get burnt sugar, and we don't want that, especially in a recipe where it's just literally fruit and sugar. So we want that to come to a juice. I have added no water to this at all. All that is pure strawberry juice that's come from those strawberries and the sugar. That's it. Now, most of the sugar will have dissolved by this stage, some of it will not, so I'm just making sure that there's no clumps at the bottom that can catch when I put the heat on under it, because we don't want that. We don't want burnt sugar. This has taken a lot of effort to put my feet up and cut strawberries in front of the telly. You know, that takes work and effort, man, and to take up part of the kitchen while they macerate overnight while I'm sleeping. Yeah. So now you're going to actually do some work, and you're going to put the heat on underneath these strawberries. Now, the heat has started on there, and we want to be stirring it fairly regularly until all the sugar is melted, because it will clump at the bottom. And I know I'm using the word clump a lot. You know, don't turn this into a drinking game, people. You'll lose. Now, until this comes to the boil, you are going to want to stir this very regularly, like every couple of moments. Or you can stand there and stir it the whole time if that's what you choose to do. I can't do that. I need to sit down every now and again. But if you leave it for too long, something like that will happen, where it starts to boil over the top, because, you know, that's what sugar does. Because there is no liquid in here except for the strawberries and what's been made from the strawberries and the sugar, this will happen quite a lot in this boiling process. What you do need to do though is that all that white stuff, you want to get that off there, because that's just scummy yuckiness. And even though the strawberries were well and truly washed beforehand, they still have a bit of scummy stuff on them, and that's normal, and you just want to pull that off so you have a nice clear jam and not a nasty, cloudy, mushy yuckiness. Ugh. And my suggestion to you at this point is to turn the heat to a medium and allow it to continue to boil. That way it won't boil over, but it will keep its heat, and you're wanting to cook down that sugar and strawberries to a really good gluggy jammy consistency where it's going to set by itself. But you don't want to stand there over the whole time, because you know you have a life too, and you know every 10 minutes is enough to stick your head round the corner and give it a bit of a stir, in my opinion. But you know, if you're not sure, sit on it. I don't care. Well, not on it. That would be painful. Yeah. Next to it. Closely. Guarding it. From the kids. You know. Because it's sugar. Okay, so at this point I check mine every 10 minutes. It's gone back down. I've turned it down, obviously. It's still simmering. It's come back up to its little rolling boil. That's what you want right there. You don't want any more than that, because otherwise it will start to take over the top of the pot again. Okay, and every 10 minutes come back and give it a stir and give it a check and all of that kind of stuff. So meanwhile, while that's happening, let's talk about Jam It Up June. The first off, Jam It Up June was brainchild of Tony from Kettle Kitchen. He has since invited me to be a co-host with him for this collab, which I'm very happy to do. And this is its 3rd year running, which is quite exciting. And for the 2nd year running, we have an amazing sponsor in 4-jar lids, and for their 2nd year in it, they are actually going to be putting in a video of their own as well. Last year their video was incredible. I'm sure it still will be this year as well, but they're also going to be donating a bunch of prizes for our giveaway. Now our giveaway is going to be done over on Tony's channel on Kettle Kitchen on Friday, July the 5th at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm pretty sure that's around midnight BST, and whatever it is where you live. Okay, so pop over to his channel for all of that. Now, to be in to win, you need to put a meaningful comment down in the comment sections of the videos. Now, there is a playlist that is linked underneath in my video that is either on my channel or on Tony's. We have one each, and that's cool. So you can, doesn't matter, you can go and watch everyone's. Leave a comment on everybody's. The more comments you leave on everyone's videos, the more chances you are to have to win. Okay, we will also have hashtag giveaways on the night as well. But I would just like to say a really huge thank you to the 32 channels have gotten involved with this year's collaboration, and it's just such a wonderful way to get together. And who doesn't like jams and preserves and stuff? Seriously, I mean, honestly, yum. So let's get back to the jammy. So this is the 3rd time in half an hour that I have checked our jam, and it's not quite there yet. I want it to have reduced even more to that point where it is quite thick bubbly. Not thick so it's paste, but so that you can see a definite difference in the juice, as in it's no longer just juice, but it does feel thicker to your spoon as well. You could, if you wanted to, put a small plate in the freezer and then test it out with a spoonful of the mix on it, and if it sets, it's ready. Okay, that's the bottom. That's the easiest way of explaining it, because I didn't do it, because you know I keep making so much of it. Anyway, we're on to bottling. So for this, you want to be really quick, and these jars have all been sterilized. They are all boiling hot jars. The lids are boiling hot lids. They have all been sterilized as well. I just keep them in that bag so that they're together and I'm not handling them too much. But I want them all, everything to be really hot. Now I'm going to fill each jar to the collar or the shoulder, whichever. And I'm going to get the lids on, and that's going to be it. I could, if I wanted to, turn them upside down. On this particular day, My hands weren't feeling it, and they were fine. They still sealed. Every single one of them still sealed. And open kettle method, which is this particular method, is normal for making jams in this country because this is a traditional jam which has a hugely high sugar content in it, which means that it doesn't need to be water bathed or anything like that. So we're just relying on the heat to seal it. And in some cases, it doesn't actually need to be sealed either. You could even just put a little wax disc in the top. That's quite normal as well. And just put the lid on and it should be fine without a problem. But yeah, so I got loads out of this. And can I just say, I was not expecting the reaction from Tanny that I got over this jam. Tanny, after 24 hours of the jars sitting there, and he looked at the jam the next day and he's like, "Oh, that's really good quality jam." And I said, "Yeah, it is, eh?" And he said, "Yeah, that's mine." I went, "What?" He said, "No, that's my jam." Tanny doesn't eat jam. He doesn't eat jam. He's very, very rarely will he touch anything sweet. So the fact that he has now taken possession of the jam, and I will show you where he's hidden it, okay? Because it's his hiding spot. It's not so that it keeps the jam fresh. It's his hiding spot, and I will show you in a moment. But yeah, these lids, I'm just putting the lids on right now, as you can see in this. Ta-da-da-da, we have lids. These are just lug lids. Just put them on as finger tight or a little bit more than that. They'll be fine. And the vacuum as the jam seals will create the seal for these. And that's cool. That's not a problem. So yeah, Tanny decided that he would keep the jam in the fridge and it would be stuck behind the other preserves that I have in there that are oil-based ones that have already been opened because no one would see them. When I gave a jar to his daughter, the look on his face was like you'd stolen his puppy, and he tried to get the jar back off her. I didn't allow this to happen. So yeah, this is where he's hidden his jam. In fact, this jam means I get a new set of shelves for where we need to put storage. Now, to prove that this jam doesn't need to be in the fridge, I have a jar sitting on my desk. Apparently that's the only jar I'm allowed. So guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. I will put a link to the written recipe, but you know, it's pretty simple. Okay, don't forget to leave a comment and share me with your friends. I will catch you again really, really soon. Love you guys heaps. Mwah!